Alright, so now I think we kind of continue from the same one. Right? I think this is the best one. And then we'll start saving on this file, which is going to be for Rumpel. So we'll start here. We'll stick with going left. I do love my karma too, so, you know, I'm not angry. And we'll save the right turn for a waltz. No questions. I think this one was the negative one. I'm gonna assume so. Throw the tray at him is the positive one, if I remember correctly. For Rumpel. Yep, because he's fucking weird. And I'll read this one, because it's funny. Can I throw the tray at him? I'm tempted to let you. Feisty as well? Oh, be still, my beating heart! Huh? You? Oh, he's awake! Ooh. Another lovely lady has entered my chambers? I don't think my heart can handle the perfection of 3 of you at once. I think I know how Casanova here got those head injuries. Some lady decided she had enough of his rubbish and wanted to punish him. Delora, patience. He may not even be in the right state of mind right now. He did take injuries to the head after all. Oh, you're too generous, Parfait. To look just at me. Blah, blah, blah. What? You're familiar. No, it's impossible. Oh, and then he recognizes her as the crown princess. And it's like, whoa, so he's a fairy tale curse, but he doesn't know which one he is. So, okay, I'm gonna just skip to there, because I think the rest is just pick Rumpel. So, skip, 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 skip. Alright. I could break my own curse. Oh boy. Here we go. Okay. I suppose I could ask Rumpel. Enough girls seem to like him, so he might have sound advice. I don't like the logic for that. I find Rumpel in between his orders and pull him aside. He looks oddly relieved. Ah, princess, you've saved me. Saved you? From a heinous overload of work. I am pretty sure Rumpel does less around here than me. At least I finished the work I am given. Granted, you have a magic broom, but unlike Rumpel, who gets distracted by every single thing. Dear Nom-Nom, if you've called me here, then you must want to confess something to me. What? Perhaps you'll confess your undying love for me? I scowl at him and cross my arms. I came to ask you for advice, but perhaps I'll go ask someone else. Like Karma, please? Can we go back to Karma? I liked Karma. You came to ask me advice? Rumpel stares at me, clearly shocked. I guess it is because out of all the people I would ask, he probably seems the least likely. Accurate! Then I will assist, my sweet princess. What kind of advice are you looking for? Perhaps you'd like to learn how to make a man swoon, or how to stroke the embers of the heart? Is flirting the only thing that is ever on his mind? Yes, yes it is. Kind of has amnesia, but yeah. I came because I want you to teach me about goodness. I'm gonna do something real quick. There we go. I forget this game is gonna be a bit on the quieter side, because volume how I had it set up. Anyway. I think I read that. Goodness. Goodness me! But my sweets, all of the advice that I just suggested would teach you just that. Being romantic will not teach me how to do good. Rumpel dramatically places his hand over his heart. But being romantic is good! I'm gonna just read him as dramatic as possible all the time. Am I gonna get tired? Yes, but I don't care. This man is... Don't you see the smiles on the lovely ladies' ladies' faces when I speak with them? Yeah, they look like they want to beat your ass. I cannot imagine why they smile like that. Rumpel's persistence is annoying. Oh, so he does have some that like him. Impressive. To be romantic and loving, that is the epitome of goodness. Show someone affection and they will return it twofold. I can only stare at Rumpel as I wonder why I even decided to ask him. It's because we have no other choice, BB. I'm sorry. Or you could just be kind. Everyone is kind in their own way, princess. So what do you say? Perhaps you would like to practice on me? I'm sure your smile would brighten up my week. No, I'm certain of it. I have work. I quickly turn and leave before Rumpel can continue. I have to be romantic to earn a good deed. I'd rather be cursed like this forever. A romantics be like... Maybe asexuals? Maybe. Depends. Skip. And then Rumpel again. I find Rumpel taking a break at one of the tables. Surprisingly, he is by himself and not surrounded by the usual blushing ladies, probably because they found out quickly. You are not surrounded by a flock of ladies? You must have done something to offend them. Rumpel looks at me, the surprise apparent on his face. Princess, have you come to mend my broken heart? Excuse me? I was speaking with a lady here only hours ago when she told me that she was betrothed to someone else. That happened hours ago, and you are still sitting here? Rumpel places his chin on the palm of his hand, looking very tired. In mourning, the heart is a fragile thing, princess. Won't you help heal my shattered heart? Rumpel stares at me when I do not answer. That would count as a good deed, you know. Oh, snicker snicker. Helping you would count as a good deed? I love how she's like, wait, really? Doing things out of the kindness of your heart is a good deed, princess. The kindness of my heart? Why would I want to help you when you've done nothing for me? Ah, Nom-Nom, at her early stages of learning. Kindness isn't a thing that needs to necessarily be returned, princess. Single instances of affection can make a heart lighter. Why does he always go through the trouble of making his words sound so much fancier? I will not help you mend your broken heart because that would be an act of stupidity, not kindness. Good day! Rumpel's shoulders slump as he frowns. Oh, now my heart is even more fragmented. You suffer from a broken heart every day you are rejected. Of course, because to pour your heart out to someone only to be rejected is a cruel fate, princess. You probably deserved rejection, what with the way you flirt with everyone. So no, I am not going to help you. Deal with your own broken heart. Deal with your own shit. I turn around and walk away. The acts Rumpel puts on are annoying. And skip. And oh, selection time! Which means no more skipping much. Because now, new shit. Chapter 3, The Flatterer. Alright, I need to save over this one. Yes. Perfect. So then we're ready for rest of route. Plus when we go back to do the bad end one. I do not know why the first person that popped into my mind was Rumpel. It's like there was someone controlling me, telling me I had no other choice. Excuse, that did not feel good. That was not a proper burp. Just because he puts a smile on ladies' why can I not say this? Ladies' faces with his flirting does not mean he can help me do a good deed. And yet, here I am, like a fool. Find Rumpel on break, surrounded by a few giggling ladies. His hands make dramatic sweeping gestures as he showers them with compliments. It looks like he's surrounded by he's like, yes, my entourage, my ladies. And you, my sweet, are like sunshine peeking through the clouds on a dark day. You lit the ground with so much golden light and make every flower reach out toward your warmth. On second thought, maybe I should reconsider. Princess! Rumpel notices me, however, and immediately waves me over. Alright. Good choice would be to probably walk toward him. And no! Oh my gosh, I almost made a bad choice. I was looking, my eye went to, so it's broken up in a chart, like left is good end, right's bad end. I went straight to the right because that's what I did for Rod's route for obvious reasons. No, I need to turn and walk away. Boop. I just remembered that I have something to do. I turn around to start walking away, but I'm immediately stopped when I feel Rumpel's hand on my shoulder. I slap his hand away. Fierce as always. You remind me of a rose with thorns, princess. He leans closer and winks at me. Oh god, he's so close. But the thorns are what make the rose so alluring. Is that why I liked Karma so much? Anyway, are you always so persistent, or do you actually want me to slap you again? Your slapping me is but a small blockade in the road. I will never give up on you, princess. Does he enjoy it when I purposefully try to ignore him? Oh, he probably loves that shit. Did I not get the achievement? How do you get the achievement? All it says is, make the right choice, without the guide. Oh! Obtain the good ending without using the right choice indicator. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Got it. So we're doing it for the entirety of the route. Well, probably for the rest of the game, honestly, just to save me time. The most brilliantly sparkling gems are buried deep within the ground and take much effort to unearth. What? Princess, you are like one of those gems. No, I am not like a gem. Rumpel, why would you deal with someone like her? What? Nom-Nom is like a budding flower, and I want to do my best to help her bloom in whatever way that I can. What? You know what I just realized? He gives me so much Tamaki vibes from Oran High School Host Club. Holy shit, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense now. The annoyance, the flirt. Yep, it's Tamaki. It's Tamaki. It's Fairy Tale Tamaki. Alright. Crack the case, everyone. Just barred to like, I don't know. Blah. You've come to me for advice, right? How did he know? The look of shock on your face is adorable and so absolutely satisfying. It seems I hit the nail right on the head.
Rumpel, she is obviously too stubborn to admit that she needs your help.
It's infuriating. I just said I hated it. And now I'm like, was not expecting. Help, 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 help. Rumpel leans a little closer to me and suddenly he is whispering in my ear. Shivers up my spine, it's fine. Let me tell you something, princess. Making a person happy just to see them smile is definitely a good deed. Uh-huh. Making someone feel important is never a disservice. What do you think? I'm pretty knowledgeable, aren't I? Why does he look so evil though, too, at the same time? Or not evil, like sinister. Very sinister. All he ever talks about is doting on people, flirting with them, and making them smile. Rumpel continues talking. Which is why I will make an excellent partner. I take a step back. Rumpel is now looking at me with a triumphant smile. How did you... I am very perceptive, princess. You overheard my conversation with Parfait. She told me about it. She... did? Only briefly. So you're not perceptive at all. Princess, you cannot see it, but I am drowning in my own tears. He just assumed I was going to be partners with him, which is very annoying. I do not even know why I was considering partnering up with Rumpel when he says the same things over and over again. And I do not think I could be around him day in and out. Oh my, what do I spot here?
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, that felt gross. Where's my water? I need to stop having these, like, baby halfsies burps. They do not feel good. I'm gonna blame the pizza. I don't know who else to blame. I'm gonna blame the pizza. Delora appears before us, a sly smile on her face. Slacking off, you two? I'm on a break! That break ended about 5 minutes ago, Rumpel. And Princess, I think there's a broom that needs attending. Fine. Hey, Oki! What's up? There is no use complaining, and I would rather get away from Rumpel. You and me both, homegirl. Rumpel turns to the ladies and smiles. My lovely ladies, I will be back later, and I promise that we will continue our conversation without any interruptions. I just imagine in the background. Yes, unfortunately, I started a brand new route, and we have to romance him. It had to happen eventually, and we're not saving him for last. That's so yeah. It's come upon us. Oh, and Princess, we'll continue our conversation later as well. I'm just gonna do that every 10 weeks now, just like. I walk off before Rumpel can try to shower more of his compliments onto me. Making a person happy just to see them smile? Such a thing really be considered a good deed? Foreshadowing! Probably. I don't know. The days at the tavern go by quickly over the next week. Princess? Princess? Ugh! You've been staring off into space. I was just thinking. I just finished using Mr. Broom, and now I'm helping Anise sort some of the shelves in the back. Rumpel has taken up the serving for today. The women always enjoy him, but the men are always glaring at him. Gee, I wonder why. They're jealous of Rumpel, I think. Who? The other men. Anise looks over at the men that are glaring at Rumpel as he drifts between tables. I'm worried about Rumpel, too. What are you talking about? You were looking at Rumpel with a funny expression on your face. No, I wasn't. My words are clipped and my voice is cold. Anise looks at me sadly, but I do not care. What I do is none of her business. Excuse me. Oh, that tasted like pineapple. I don't know if that's good or bad. I'll figure that out later. My lip balm here by any chance? No, of course not. Oh shit, did I take my meds today? Ha! I did not. Pop. Med break. Not really meds. Kind of? It's just because I'm bad at taking care of myself. I think the girls are jealous of you too. What? I glanced around the tavern and noticed that there were girls glowering at me. I am not unaccustomed to these glares, since people have always looked at me this way. During the times I left the palace, people gave me the same looks, but this feels different somehow. Why would they be jealous? Because you're Rumpel's partner. I am not his partner. You're not? He's been telling everyone that you are. Never agreed to being partners with him. I felt your longing gaze upon my beck, and I have arrived, my princess. Rumpel suddenly appears before the two of us, smiling brightly. Why did the trash truck take so long? It's a weird time to come by. Alright, let's throw Rumpel in there real quick. I suddenly have the strong urge to slap the smile right off his face. We are not partners. But princess, you asked for my advice. Advice that I gave you to because I care. No one else cares as much about you as I. Yeah, same. I don't think I have either. And so I proclaimed us both partners, because we are a match made in heaven. You're so overwhelmed with gratitude that you are at a loss for words. If I could throw something at you, I would. A punch packed with as much strength as your love. Only groan in response. Oh my. Hello everyone. It sounds like you're having fun. How is this fun? Rumpel is never fun. All he ever does is spout nonsense. He doesn't mean any harm, princess. He's just filled to the brim with so many compliments and he needs to get them off his chest. Parfait, you are way too nice to him. I'm just saying. Well, he can go direct them at one of his many other adoring fans. I shift my gaze to Rumpel and furrow my eyebrows at him. Or do you only direct them at me because you enjoy how much I ignore you? I only wanted to help, princess. That's what partners do, right? But we are not partners. Just try this partnership out, princess. I promise it'll be worth your while. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, princess. You can always change partners. Lady Parfait! You've broken my heart! You are very good at healing your broken heart by now, Rumpel. Anyway, I am sorry to interrupt. I only needed to speak with Anise to make sure that she doesn't need any help with a particular list. A list? A list of herbs for me. Anise has been nice enough to gather herbs for me. Lady Parfait, is this about your body? What's wrong with your body? It's nothing to concern yourself with, princess. My body is just a little frail because of the burden on it. That's right. Parfait mentioned having to bear the crystallum lucis. A thought occurs to me as I look at her more closely. Wait, couldn't you use magic to heal yourself? Parfait shakes her head and sighs. I don't have the ability to heal. None of us do, except for one particular witch who calls herself the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor? Is something wrong? Rumpel shakes his head and gives her a wistful smile. Is that the one who cursed him? That name just sounds familiar. It's likely you heard about her from someone else before. Humans do know of her existence after all. A witch? She's not a fairy? For some reason I had thought fairies would be more likely to heal people, not witches. She is indeed a witch. That is what they say. Though I have never met her myself. She is the only one who can heal illnesses with magic. She doesn't associate with other witches, though, and keeps to herself. Nobody has known where to find her for a very long time. Suffice it to say, we could never seek out help from her, even if we wanted to. Parfait shakes her head. Excuse me. No, unfortunately not. Rumpel looks grim, but Parfait quickly dissipates the gloomy atmosphere with a clap of her hands. If Delora was here, she would say, "All right, story time is over." That was all very interesting. Interesting, but it does not really help anyone. Your body is the way that it is because of the Great War, then? Like I told you before, the Great War has made my body a lot weaker. This is something that cannot be healed, and I don't have an heir, so... Parfait looks about ready to say something but goes silent. She has a sad look on her face, and I don't understand why. Anise immediately speaks up. I think I'll be okay, Lady Parfait. I was actually going to go on an errand run in a few minutes. Do you need any help? I would be more than happy to escort a lovely lady like yourself around town. Anise pulls a list out from a bag nearby and holds it out. There are only a few items in the list, as far as I can see. Don't worry about it, Rumpel. It's not that much at all. Rumpel stares at the list. His expression suddenly smooths into something more serious. May I have that? Anise hands him the list, and slowly he takes the pen out from his pocket. I stare as he looks over the list quietly, and then scribbles some things down on the bottom. Afterwards, he hands it over to Anise. I've added some things that might be helpful. The herbs on that list are for joint pains, and you might want something a little more general. What does he know about? Or how does he know all that? He worked for the witch doctor! Everyone is staring at Rumpel with wide eyes. Even Parfait looks impressed. You've used herbs before, Rumpel? Maybe? I don't remember, but for some reason, names came to the top of my head as I was looking at that list. Thank you. It is always my pleasure to help a lovely lady. Now, Anise, please let me accompany you to town. I would love to help with whatever I can, and more names might come to me.
That sounds nice. Thank you, Rumpel.
Rumpel turns to me, a mischievous smile on his face. Whenever he looks at me like that, I know he is going to suggest something ridiculous. Princess Nom-Nom should accompany us for experience. I do not need experience. How are you going to shower people with compliments if you know nothing about them? Being out in town will be good for you.
Rumpel has a point. The more you expand your world, the more willing you are to learn more about people.
I do not need to be lectured.
Oh, Princess, it wasn't meant to be a lecture. I'm just letting you know that experience is invaluable.
Come on, Princess. Let us escort the lovely Anise around town. What about your work? Rumpel puts a finger to my lips and grins. No one seems to have thought of that, so it'll be our little secret. I slap his hand away, but he just grins at me jovially. How did I get dragged into this?
Please, don't stay out too long.
We won't. Just gonna quickly say. Up. I make my way into town with Rumpel and Anise. The majority of the conversations we have are, one-sided. With Rumpel giving us both the usual compliments. He never seems to tire of it. Rumpel helps Anise pick certain herbs and a few other medications, and accepts all of the compliments she gives him with a triumphant smile. I know Anise knows about herbs because she's helped me before, but how does Rumpel know so much about them? That must be a part of the past that he doesn't remember. Anise enters the store by herself at one point, leaving me alone with Rumpel. I am a mysterious man, aren't I? I turn to look at him and notice the easy smile adoring his face. A man with amnesia is full of secrets, after all. I bet you're even more curious about me. Women always love mysterious men. I do not particularly care. But Princess, if my curse is my amnesia, then shouldn't you care somehow? As partners, we're going to help each other out, right? I do not see how I can help you with your amnesia. Ah, maybe this is a spell that is only broken by a true love's kiss. Shall we see? Oh, God. He leans toward me with a playful smile on his face. I am accustomed to this behavior by now, so this does not faze me, and I merely sigh at his nonsense. You already said yourself that you need to gather entries from some kind of journal. Ah, Princess, you're no fun. A little kiss wouldn't hurt anyone. I would die before I kiss you. Bad end! Foreshadowing. Maybe. I don't know. Haha. Princess, that is so sad. He says that, but he is still smiling. Why is he so unfazed by everything I say to him? Only ever have terrible suggestions. It was a mistake to trust you might have good advice. But I have great ideas. You haven't helped with my curse at all. I have been trying, though. You haven't even told me how to get a good deed. He has, technically. I told you before, Princess. Compliments make a person happy, and making a person happy is a good deed. So you flirting with women and using shallow compliments on them is a good deed. On the surface, the compliments may seem shallow, but if you swim a little deeper, complimenting people cannot be a good deed. But making them happy is. All you have to do is listen to people, sympathize with them, maybe get to know them, and you can make them happy by doing even small things for them. Women enjoy the compliments, Princess. Besides, how can I see such beauties and not compliment them? It would be a disservice. You give compliments to people you do not even care about. Princess! Rumpel's voice trails off as he stares past me. His smile falters for a few moments, and a look of confusion ripples his features. I turn to follow his gaze and see a small boy staring at us. He is shyly hiding behind some kind of notebook. There's that seriousness again. It was the same thing that happened when he added something to the list for parfait. Then suddenly the expression changes into Rumpel's usual bright smile. Hello there! Would you like to come and speak with us, young sir?
Oh, you don't remember me, sir?
Oh, do I know you?
I used to come to your clinic. You saved me before.
The boy draws closer to us, still hiding shyly behind his notebook. I'm sorry, little sir. I'm afraid that my memories are a bit scrambled right now. I can't even remember my own name.
Really?
Where is Anise? Why is she taking so long? The last thing I want to hear is a conversation between Rumpel and some child. Is he going to shower this boy with compliments too? It's a shame that I can't remember a boy as bright as yourself. And there it is. Wow, I did not think it would go there.
I'm not that bright, sir. Not as bright as you, but I want to be.
He holds up his notebook, which has a small name scribbled in the corner. The words, "My dreams," are written on the front cover in cursive letters. What's this?
I want to be just like you when I grow up, so I started a book of dreams just like my mom told me to. She said I could become a doctor too, so long as I tried my best.
A doctor?
You forgot that you were a doctor, sir?
Rumpel? A doctor? The boy continues to hold out the book, and finally Rumpel takes it and flips it open to the front page. Rumpel is holding the book close to his face so I cannot see it. I rise to the tips of my toes and attempt to look over his shoulder. At first, Rumpel does not notice me as he stares at the page. Then, belatedly, he realizes I am there and lowers the book so that I can read too. I lean so close to him our shoulders brush. My eyes scan over the page quickly. The handwriting is crude, barely readable actually, but I can still make out the gist of it. Rumpel slowly reads the words aloud. When I'm older, I want to be exactly like the kind doctor that saved me when I had no one else to go to. Boy's face flushes as Rumpel reads his words aloud before his curious gaze lands on me.
I don't remember you.
I look at the boy, irritated.
Are you the doctor's wife?
Rumpel suddenly looks up, his eyes wide. He looks down at the boy, then at me, his face suddenly solemn. I am surprised by the words that leave his mouth next. Yes, she is. Moving so quickly, sir. Ugh. He takes my hand in his and looks down at me, an almost sad look on his face. What is wrong with him? Both are sound negative. Good ending is to slap him? Are we sure? Okay, that's what the guide says. I mean... That's what the guide says. It's not my first thought. Let go of me. Rumpel's eyes crease with worry as he holds tightly to my hand. Sadness in his eyes becomes anxiety, and I see something like fear dancing in his eyes. You really think it was my fault? The look in his eyes is so vacant, almost like he is looking through me. It's as if he is in some kind of trance. The way he looks at me makes my skin crawl. His grip on my hand tightens, making me shudder. Rather than slap his hand away, I reach out with my free hand and slap his face. I stare, perplexed, at the sudden bafflement on Rumpel's face. Did the slap to the face knock him out of that strange trance? He's being even stranger than normal, and the intensity of the look in his eyes is scaring me. Uh, oh wait, was he? I thought he was like trying to do some weird joke thing, but was he seriously under a trance? Rumpel stares at me for a few moments, blinking slowly. Oh no, I blinked out. I'm sorry, princess. What just happened to him? The way he was speaking was so strange, almost like he was some kind of trance. But I know how people are. They lie and they put on faces. I'm sorry for spacing out. If I invaded your space, then I am sorry. You are apologizing? Rumpel puts a hand to his cheek where I slapped him. I think I deserve that. Thanks for getting me out of whatever that was. All at once, the sheepish smile breaks into something cheerful again. He's still smiling at me, even though I was so curt with him. Rumpel is so confusing. You and me, girl, What? The boy looks bewildered. Yeah, same kid.
Don't worry about that, little sir.
Oh. I was like, what? Why is the boy talking like that? Because it's not the boy. Don't worry about little sir. This one here is a feisty thing. I deserved whatever she just did.
So she's not your wife, sir?
Rumpel looks a little surprised and then he laughs. Unfortunately, no. The beautiful lady here is not my wife. Rumpel absently rubs at the back of his neck as he looks up at the sky. I'm not entirely sure of what just happened, but it seems like I recovered something very important today. Or the beginnings of something important. Something important? Is he talking about a memory? He hands the book back to the boy, then he leans down and sets a hand on the boy's head. A bell chimes behind us as a niece comes out of the store, carrying a bag filled with what I assume are herbs and medicines. The boy once again cowers behind his book. Oh, who's this? The wonderful little sir that helped me regain a very important memory. An important memory? Rumpel stands, looking triumphant. I, my good lady, am a doctor. Oh, really? Truly? Rumpel turns back to the boy, who he asks a few more questions. He even asks the boy his name, but much to my surprise, the boy shakes his head.
I'm sure you told me your name, but I don't remember it.
It is like my curse. No one remembers me being a princess, and no one remembers Rumpel's true name. Rumpel thanks the boy again many times over and even buys him a few pieces of candy. The boy's eyes are practically glowing with excitement, and he does not stop smiling. I'm gonna check something real quick. Good. Looks like we're good. Okay. Actually, I'm paranoid. Yep, okay. I'm still paranoid from the one stream where the screen apparently just froze on Twitch's end, but OBS was like, yeah, we Gucci. But after we see him off and start to head back to the tavern, I begin to contemplate. I am curious about something. Oh? You said that you needed to fill your journal with memories in order to get them back, but the journal you just read wasn't yours. It appears not. It seems that the 3 entries that trigger my memories just need to be written by people I know. Reading them triggers a memory, and then the full entry probably appears in my journal. I ought to check it when I get back. I see.
But even without looking into the entry, a memory came to your mind?
Rumpel gives a short, distracted nod. It's not complete, so I'm hoping that something really has appeared in my journal. It feels like it must, considering I remembered something so important.
Do you remember anything else at all?
The young man that we just met, I believe that he used to come watch me work before. I knew him. He used to look up to me. He was a sweet child. Why are we talking about him in past tense? He's still alive and fine. The memory is foggy, but yes, I believe something did happen to him. He became ill. The details of how I saved him must be in the journal. Even though this does not pertain to my curse, I am curious what his journal might say. I can't remember fully, but the memory feels sad somehow.
He turns to me, eyebrows knit together. It is strange to see him with such a serious expression on his face. I really am sorry about earlier, Princess. I think I was on the verge of a memory, but then it got tangled up in my head. I am surprised by his sudden change in topic. I shake my head slowly. He is quiet for a few moments, before suddenly his smile comes back and he laughs jovially, telling us that there is no point in worrying. At the town's outskirts, I turn, feeling eyes on my back, but no one is there. We give Parfait the medicines we purchased in town as soon as we arrive back at the market. Then, Rumpel proudly announces that he is a doctor to anyone that will listen to him. Everyone seems happy for him, save for the market patrons that find Rumpel annoying, who are mostly men. Afterwards, Rumpel asks Anise if he might be able to take over the medications for Parfait, if only because Anise is busier than him. Rumpel hasn't been at the market long, and he's already found something to help break his curse. There's me. I do not think anyone will be able to help me. At the end of the night, when I finally have time to myself, I return to my room to rest. The next day, I am sent right back to my chores. Rumpel is nowhere to be seen in the morning, and Anise says it is because he is tending to Parfait. He appears later in the afternoon, still full of smiles and silly flattery as he goes back to serving. Does he have so much energy? At the end of the day, I plop down on the settee to rest. My legs are weak from all the walking I have done today, and I can still feel the tiredness in my arms from all the sweeping with Mr. Broom. Princess? I notice Anise standing beneath the doorway, smiling at me uncertainly. Excuse me. Thank you for your work today. Why is she thanking me for work I absolutely do not want to do? It's not as if I've asked to do any of this. But you still help. Anise nervously shifts on her feet. So I just wanted to say thanks. When I do not make any effort to continue speaking with her, Anise gives a nervous little nod before heading back toward her room. Not long after her departure, I hear an exuberant and familiar voice. I should count my lucky stars, for they are giving me a rare opportunity to meet with my lovely princess this late at night. I should have gone to my room. Rumpel stops before me, winking. The moonlight on your face makes your beautiful eyes sparkle like the most precious gold, princess. I am not in the mood for your flattery. But princess, flattery is just a compilation of compliments. Everyone loves compliments. I do not care for your compliments. Or Lady Anise's thanks either. He heard that? You should learn to let people spoil you. I stare at him. That is the last thing I had ever expected anyone to say. My whole life I have been called spoiled and rotten, the Ice Princess. Even Delore and Parfait want me to do these good deeds because they think I'm incapable of goodness. I clench my fist and continue to stare at him, not understanding the swell of emotion inside of me. Why is he being so nice to me? Your first lesson is learning how to let people spoil you. He draws back his hand, reaches into his pocket, and presents me with a small yellow bag. What's this? For you, my sweet princess. Ow, really? I'm confused by the logic, but I'm not gonna question it for now. I cannot accept your gift. But princess, my advice! You have no reason to spoil me. Princess, this is what I've been trying to explain to you all day. You don't need a reason to spoil someone. It doesn't always have to be about paying someone back. Rumpel smiles, a little sheepishly. Then he places the bag in my hand and curls my fingers around it. You deserve nice things, princess. Barely know me, and yet you still say that? Barely know you? We may not have known each other personally, but that doesn't mean I don't know enough about you. I am giving you this gift because I truly want you to have it. Besides, this is both a thank you and an apology gift.
Thank you for accepting me as your partner, and an apology for my behavior yesterday. I don't remember what I did, but both you and that boy seemed frightened. Oh, he actually looks sincere. That's nice. It's a little funny the art has to like kind of like smudge away the glasses so you see his eyes, because otherwise it's just like you see nothing, no expression. I look down at the little bag. I open it up, and inside is a little white chocolate piece fashioned to the shape of a flower. Oh, oh, a lily! Hey, hey! Aw. Okay, he's might be warming up to him a little bit. It's not much, but you absolutely must accept it, princess. Otherwise my guilt would drown me in dark shadows of sorrow for the rest of time. Lilies are my favorite flower. They say you give a white lily to someone you enjoy spending time with. Oh, and in floral language, they also stand for purity and majesty. He winks at me. Y'all thought I wasn't gonna do that wink. Perfect for you, princess. Why? Why what? Why would you give this to me? No matter No matter what you say about doing nice things for people, I don't see how that applies to me. Why would you thank me for being your partner? I did not even want to be your partner at first. But do you now?
Zoe, does she now?
The verdict's still out. She is... And there's no true bad boy in this one. I am unable to withhold my surprise. Rumpel raises an eyebrow, then sighs. Princess, you don't trust compliments, do you? Mother always told me that people were two-sided, that they'd say anything to make you believe they were your friend. No. Never fear, my sweet princess. I'll make sure I compliment you until you learn to accept them. That was weird. There we go. But no buts, except for booties. Haha. I derive my happiness from making ladies like yourself happy. The compliments may seem strange to you, but don't worry, you'll see it in time. See what? The connections between people. You assume I'm just a flirt, but I get to know an awful lot about people. It's the reason I can guess so much about you. What could Rumpel possibly know about me? So, what do you think? Are you more attracted to me now because of my mysterious aura? Or my doctorly sophistication? He leans closer to me, his eyes sparkling. I could be your own personal doctor. We'll slap you if you touch me again. Rumpel pulls back and raises both of his hands in surrender, but the smile does not leave his face. You really are hopeless, aren't you? Do you think so? I thought that the events from today might have proven otherwise. Oh, speaking of which, I read over my journal earlier. Journal, I can read. Earlier. His expression becomes oddly solemn. Solemn, solemn, solemn. Solomon. Shall I enlighten you? Why would you tell me all of this? Oh, you're not interested? I thought you might be since I was your partner. If I don't listen, you'll still tell me regardless, so feel free to share. Rumpel sighs as he flips the journal open. Unfortunately, it was not much. The memory began coming together again as I was reading, but a lot of it still doesn't make sense. I glanced down at the entry he has stopped at. Look at the bottom of the page, princess. A
followed his gaze to the bottom of the page and paused, noticing a conspicuous gap. There's no signature, and I always sign the end of every entry I write. Wonder if that might be the final piece of the puzzle. The final piece of your curse? If my name refuses to show up in the book, it may very well be the final memory I need to regain. You believe that the signature will be what gives you your true name, then? I have a feeling that might be the case. It was the first thing I noticed when the entry appeared. That would explain why the boy in town didn't know my name either. And there's something else.
Oh, I didn't know I left that upstairs. Thanks. Night.
Something else that is missing? The journal entry is cryptic at best, vague, almost like an incomplete puzzle piece. I stare at him, not understanding. Slowly, Rumpel begins to explain. Ugh. Oh, that did not taste good. It says here that the boy's family rushed him to my clinic. He had a terminal illness that I could not cure. He was at death's door and I couldn't save him. But he's still alive, isn't he? He even said you saved him. Yes, there was a resolution in the journal, but it's not very helpful. I glanced down at the journal entry as Rumpel continues to speak. I refused to give up. I knew that there had to be a way to save the boy. I never gave up on my patients. In the journal entry, I described someone who came to help me save the boy. It's gonna be the witch doctor! I bet you! He lifts the book and points to the words, reading them aloud. I met her for the first time tonight. She told me she had some way to help the boy, so we struck a deal. I hope we do not come to regret this. He snaps the journal shut, startling me. He sighs as he runs a hand through his hair. That's it. Someone helped me somehow, and I made a deal. I'm assuming this is related to my curse, but I can't say how. Why did you write so vaguely? I wish I could ask my past self that same question. So in the end, you're still not sure when you were cursed? Rumpel pauses, then shakes his head. I believe it started here. Not the curse, but the events that led to it. There's a reason this is the first memory to be triggered. It's important. For a few moments, the two of us are quiet. Rumpel's curse is a mystery, not because he is hiding it like karma is, but because he does not understand it himself. Karma. After a few moments, Rumpel begins to laugh, breaking the silence. I look at him, startled. What's so funny? Oh, it's not funny. It's all very mysterious, isn't it? And my mysterious past makes me more alluring, doesn't it? Only Rumpel could take such a serious moment and change it into this. Well, what do you think, princess? Are you drawn into the mystery of it? I have no choice. You could tell me even if I didn't want to know. Oh, but you do! I can see the curiosity in your lovely golden eyes. And I could see it earlier today, too. Thank you for accompanying me to town. I believe that I only met the boy because you were there to guide my way. We were looking for medical supplies. That boy appeared through mere coincidence. No, it was more than coincidence. It was destiny! Fine, whatever you say. Listening to him is exhausting. It makes me realize how tired I am. And all of these revelations are making my head spin. I am going to bed now. I am too tired for this. It has indeed been a busy day. We will continue this enlightening discussion some other time. Perhaps. I turn to walk away with the little chocolate in my hands. As I walk back into the darkness of the hallway, Rumpel's soft voice echoes behind me. Sweet dreams, my princess. My princess. Chapter 4. A compliment's value. You waited, but the children didn't come, did they? They promised they'd be back today. They even crossed pinkies. Promises are futile, dearest heart. But I've told you before and I'll tell you again. People are selfish creatures. They will always put their own well-being before others. No one does anything selflessly. And it's totally not me who chased those children away. Not at all. Or my mere existence, warning the other children's parents to be like, no fam, we're not doing this. To put your trust in someone was weakness, Nom-Nom. Even those that make promises will only keep them if it benefits them. And you, my sweet, were obviously not beneficial to those children.
So they didn't like playing with me?
No, they did not. Come here, darling. You do not need those other children. The two of us can play together as we always do.
I can always trust you, Mother.
No, I mean, of course, my love. There's nothing wrong with me. My head feels foggy. Maybe it was because it took me forever to fall asleep yesterday. And then, to make things worse, I ended up having that dream. Mother, you are the only one I can trust. Right? I slowly slide out of my bed and make my way over to my dresser. The little bag is still where I left it last night. I open up and let the little white chocolate lily fall into my hand. Oh, it's so pretty! Is he really trying to help me? I remember his face yesterday and his bright smile as he presented this to me. I slowly run my fingers across the delicate white petals. He couldn't have known lilies were my favorite flower. There was no reason to be sentimental about something like this. It's just silly. I'm about to put the flower back in the bag, but I stop, eyeing it once more. Slowly, I bring it to my lips and bite off a small petal. It's actually pretty good. I stuff the little flower back into the bag and make my way downstairs. The market is not busy this early in the morning, but everyone is starting on their chores. At least, I assume as much when I see Anise and then Waltz, who is helping her stack things. Then I hear rising voices and realize that not all is calm. At least I don't have to pretend to be something I'm not. Karma, my darling! You say you're not pretending when you go around flirting with all of the female patrons day in and day out. You cannot seriously mean all of the drivel you spout. Karma and Rumpel stand on opposite sides of the table, staring each other down. A teacup filled with what looks to be cool tea sits close to Karma, abandoned. Flirting with a lady is not a crime. One day your flirting is going to get you into even more trouble than it already has. I've never had a lady said I mistreated her, not once. Oh, I'm sure many could attest to being more than slightly annoyed. You're only jealous that I can speak to ladies without a disguise, aren't you? Karma slams his hand down on the table, shaking it. The tavern grows quiet. Waltz looks over. Oh my god, cat! You know where all my keys are. And yet you still mess with shit. Tavern grows quiet. Waltz looks over, his eyebrows furrowed with worry. So much just make one more comment about my curse. Shh. Then stop making comments about how I speak. Two continue to glare at each other. It almost looks as if Karma might circle the table and slap him, but the fight freezes as Jurian strides up to the two men. It's too early for the two of you to already be at each other's throats. But he started it! All I did was make a comment. He was the one that picked a fight. There you go again, twisting words! Jurian stomps on the ground. The two men once again turn to look at her. It's my job to break up unnecessary fights, and I will do it. If you two must continue fighting, go do it somewhere else, like the forest, where you can't disturb anyone. Both men turn away from each other, obviously agitated. Rumpel's expression is cloudy as he makes his way over to the bar to begin helping set the tables. Jurian notices me watching. She waves at me with a terse smile on her face. Sorry you had to wake up to that, princess. I am patting do? What else am I supposed to do? Stop trying to claw my face off. I shrug as I make my way over to Mr. Broom. It is like waking up to two children arguing. Agreed wholeheartedly. Jurian sighs before looking at me thoughtfully. Maybe you could have a word with Rumpel later. I have no idea how their argument even started, but maybe you can get to the bottom of it. I am not a babysitter. Excuse me, but I heard the two of you were partners. Anyway, hopefully this doesn't happen again. Good luck with your work today, princess. Jurian walks off, vigilant as always. I notice Garland looking at her from the bar, a slight frown on his face. I start working around the tavern, starting first with the cleaning and then with the stacking. Laura makes snide remarks about my slowness as I work, and I try my best to ignore her while occasionally throwing her insults back at her. It's as if she has nothing better to do. The door to the tavern opens and Parfait steps inside with a bright smile. She looks more energetic than usual. I wonder if this is because of Rumpel's medicine suggestions. Later, I manage to catch Rumpel when the two of us are both on break. He looks pleased to see me until I mention Karma. Why were the two of you fighting earlier? What a sad day it is that the princess talks about another man to my face. Just answer me. I was getting ready for the events of the day, as always, speaking to the lovely women who filter in and out of this place, when the beast appeared behind me. Even his insults are dramatic. Your flirting is distracting me, he proclaimed. Well, your flirting is annoying. But all I'm doing is complimenting women. I'm not impeding anyone's work. I mean, come on. Women, am I right? I thought that the only reason he was calling me out on such a thing was because he was actually jealous. You should have seen his scowl. And here we go. So I politely told him to mind his business, but he was relentless when he continued to insult my demeanor. Well, I had to say something back, but I wasn't the one to start the fight. I'm gonna finish it. I swear they both really do sound like children. No doubt Karma would be blaming Rumpel. Princess, you don't really think I'm so confrontational, do you? I think Karma is far more confrontational than Rumpel, but it does not help that Rumpel always snaps back at him. The two of you are both at fault. But Princess! In the end, you were still having a childish argument. I think that Rumpel might try to protest again, and I'm surprised when he shrugs his shoulders and sighs. Yes, it was childish, because that man is a child. I roll my eyes. Ah, your irritated scowl chills my heart, Princess. I feel a tinge of excitement. I am leaving now. There's really no point in having this conversation. It was a problem between Karma and Rumpel. They aren't children. They can figure this out on their own. Oh, princess of my heart, why must you depart so early? I ignore Rumpel and leave him standing where he is as I return to my shift a little early. Honestly, I would much rather focus on work than Rumpel. He can be just as tiring, if not more. Though, after what happened last night, I do not think he is as terrible as I thought. The days go on and Rumpel and I speak only briefly during our breaks. Every day I eat another piece of the lily until only one is remaining. One afternoon, just before my break, Rumpel approaches me with a mischievous smile on his face. My lovely princess, how are you today? What do you want? Your cold shoulders enticing. I have one more table to serve. Do not bother me. But princess, I've decided I know exactly how to teach you to be good. All of your other lessons have been useless so far. Please, just trust me. To put my trust in someone is weakness. Trust me, pet. I'm going to teach you how to flirt. What? The first step to flirting is eye contact, princess. Wait, but why are you... Rumpel points at my customer, a young man sitting right beside the window.
The second is the smile. Smile, princess! Because I'm sure you look even more stunning when you do. Then you start a conversation with him. Body language is important. There are certain signals that key men into the fact that a woman is interested in them. I think playing with your hair is one. A gentle tap on the shoulder is another. I should have expected Rumpel to spout this sort of nonsense. Princess, the customer's been waiting for a while now. Is something wrong? I noticed the customer looking at me expectantly. He is just some man, a usual customer that I actually see often. Oh, and princess, don't forget the compliments. Make them as delicate and illustrative as you can. I move away from Rumpel before he can muddle my thoughts any further. Already my feet feel like lead. I find myself staring at the man for far too long. The way he stares back at me, his expression so unreadable, suddenly makes me feel more uncomfortable. Do I really have to do what Rumpel says? I stop in front of the man and set down his tray, my eyes still on his. I do not have to follow Rumpel's advice, but for some reason my lips quirk. The smile on my lips, though, lasts all of a half second. Are you okay? Oh my god. Are we actually gonna flirt? I don't know. Are we gonna flirt? we have to attempt to flirt. Oh no. Oh, I can't wait for this to be bad. Actually, yes, I can. I hate people embarrassing themselves. Oh no. I can feel Rumpel smiling on my back. If this were anyone else but him, I would think it was some kind of prank. Considering this is the way Rumpel acts all the time, maybe he's really trying to help me. I try to recall how he flirted with his customers before. Not help but notice you were alone, sir. I'm always alone. My heart is thumping far too loudly in my chest. What kind of things does Rumpel usually say? Madam, you are the most beautiful thief I have ever met, for it is you who has stolen my heart and stolen my gaze. Your eyes are more captivating than the stars, my sweet. If I could, I would stare into them forever and lose myself in their majesty. You remind me of a rose with thorns, but the thorns are what make the rose so alluring. All he does is spout complimentary gibberish. I will try to do the same. How is it that you would always be alone when you have such lovely eyes? The customer stares at me, baffled. I force myself to continue. Your eyes remind me of the leaves in fall as they flutter beneath the bright gaze of the sun. And I stop. The words, nothing more than a shallow lie, make me feel strangely hollow. The man is just staring at me, but he looks uncomfortable. Still, I do not think he's anywhere near as uncomfortable as I am. Ma'am? Perhaps you would... My voice drills off. I bite my lip, so hard I can taste something metallic. The man's expression is a mixture of awe and perplexity. I immediately turn away from him and walk off. My whole face is hot, and I can feel anger boiling deep down inside of me. Ah, princess! Leave me alone. Princess, we're not done. I do not care. I ignore everyone's gazes as I make my way as quickly as I possibly can up the stairs into my room. There I collapse on my bed and lay there with my arms outstretched. Why would I have ever even thought of taking Rumpel's advice? Hours go by, and eventually I realize that it's time to help Anise with the night chores. Now I am helping her restock some of the bottles that Waltz and Karma brought back from town. I hope Anise does not mention what happened earlier today. I slip out of bed and head down to the main area of the tavern. The room is mostly quiet by the time I go downstairs. Parfait and Delora talking to each other at a table. Karma passes me by as I walk downstairs. He looks exhausted and oddly frustrated. I make my way over to Anise, who is already putting bottles on the shelves. Oh, princess, are you okay now? I am fine. Now, what did you need me to do? Anise explains how restocking works. She shows me the labels on the shelves and explains that the empty spots are where the new bottles go. It is not a hard job, and one I can easily do without thinking too hard.
For a while, the only sounds that can be heard in the market are the bottles clinking against each other. Underneath that is the murmuring between Parfait and Delora. I have no idea what they are talking about, but they look serious, so it must be something important. So, Princess, can I ask what life was like at the palace? Right. She cannot remember working in the palace before. I don't mean to pry. I was just trying to make conversation. I would rather not. Oh, okay. Eventually, Parfait and Delora stand from their seats and move to another room to continue their conversation. Anise breaks the silence again. The tavern is nice when it's quiet like this, isn't it? You can hear the sounds outside if you open a window. My hands move stiffly, placing bottles on shelves by label. All I want to do is get the work done and then return to my room. It was like this at the old place that I used to work. I was hired by a rich family to be their maid. Their mansion was a beautiful place. You could hear the crickets if you were by the windows on the bottom floor. It seems like her memory has been twisted by my curse. She cannot remember working at the palace. All she remembers is working for a rich family. It was a nice place, Princess. There was a girl close to my age that had a radiant smile. Radiant smile. She must be talking about Emily. The head of the mansion is a really kind man, and... She grows suddenly quiet, a look of confusion coming to her face. She pauses and then shakes her head. I can't seem to remember everyone that was there, but I'm pretty sure they were all good people. At least, I'd like to think so. I was just a bad maid. She was. Because of her, Delora's dress was torn. I was too ashamed to tell one of the mistresses that I couldn't save her doll. Save her doll. Anise looks down, her smile wistful. I was fired on my first day because I couldn't save one of the mistress's dolls. I was the one cleaning her shelves that day, and when I went in, I saw a crow that had come in through the open window and was pecking at one of the dolls. Oh, so that wasn't even actually her fault. A bird came in and fucked up the doll. Oh, that makes it worse. I shooed it away, but I was too late. The doll had a little rip in its dress, and I was fired for not doing my job properly. Ugh. So it wasn't Anise who ripped Delora's dress, but a bird? That's why Delora insisted Anise deserves an apology? What happened after you were fired? Lady Parfait found me on the streets. I couldn't go back to my aunt's house, not after what happened. She never liked me anyway. Anisa's face clouds briefly with sorrow, but the expression is short-lived. I can never forget the day I met Lady Parfait. I told her I would be able to help her and anyone else that got sick. That I can even do all the cooking since I've been making meals for my father since I was a young girl. I begged her to take me in and she did. I owe Lady Parfait a lot. Why didn't you go back to your father after you were fired? My father passed away a while ago. My mother died giving birth to me. Father was an herbalist, and he taught me a lot while he was still with me. So before Rumpel came in, I helped Lady Parfait with herbal remedies. So you have no one. That's what I thought, but now I have everyone here. The Markin is my family now. Princess, we're all happy to have you here too. You really help out around the Markin, and I can tell Rumpel's happy to have you as a partner. The memory of what happened today slowly seeps back into my mind. I cannot help the irritation bubbling up inside of me. I know he's a little overwhelming, but I'm pretty sure Rumpel's really trying to help you, just like he's helping Lady Parfait. It is not the same thing at all. Two of us continue working until Anise makes another wistful comment. The place I worked before this... I felt like there was warmth in that gigantic home, but it was stifled. That place isn't warm at all. I speak the words without even meaning to. Anise looks up at me curiously. The king suddenly started speaking to me when Mother died, but it was never enough. Before that, he was cold and distant, and even now he favors his new wife and children over me. There were people, but they all wore fake smiles. And my father, he was the worst of all. may as well have never existed to him.
Princess, I'm sorry.
For what?
You're talking about the palace, right?
The king always seemed so nice. He put his kingdom before his children.
Anise fidgets nervously. I'm sorry.
Apologies are not going to change the past. Sometimes apologizing seems like all we can do when we can't change something that's already happened. I think about Anise, who tried to save my doll, and the way I fired her that day. Rumpel told me once that all I had to do was listen to people to sympathize with them. That'd also be true for finding out the truth. All I can do is make up for what I did. All I can do to make up for what I did to her is... remain silent. I assume it's apologize. Yep, I thought so. That feels correct. I am sorry. Anise looks at me, clearly shocked. She stares for a few moments before I scowl at her. Staring is rude. Oh, I was just... Why are you apologizing to me, princess? It is for something I did that you wouldn't remember. That I wouldn't remember? You should tell me. I promise I wouldn't hold it against you. It is not important. Nisa's eyes are suddenly downcast, and no matter the attempt, her smile isn't as bright as it once was. I quickly finish stacking the bottles on the shelves. I am done. Anise starts to look at me with an unusually tired expression on her face. Thank you for listening to me, princess, and for telling me a little bit about yourself, too. I feel like I might have said too much. I do not respond to Anise, but instead choose to head out the front door. Anise asks where I am going, but I just ignore her. I think about heading to town, but then reconsider, decide to head to the forest instead. I make my way to the forest clearing. In the dark, everything feels a lot more comfortable. Here, I do not have to pretend to listen to anyone, and I do not have to talk about myself. I settle down on a rock and stare up at the sky. Apologize, but Anise did not even understand my apology. Even now, I still cannot bring myself to trust those at the market. I sigh and find myself speaking aloud. Yeah, I am the Ice Princess. Ah, but have you seen the beautiful sculptures that could be made from ice, princess? Ugh! I turn to see Rumpel walking toward me, a broad grin on his face. Ice always sparkles in the sun. It glistens and stands so proudly where it's been sculpted. I stare at Rumpel blankly. He sighs and shakes his head. I'm sorry, that one was practically bad. Or particularly bad, wasn't it? He sits down beside me and his grin falters a little bit. That was kind of cute. Oh, that also looks kind of cute. What the hell? Not allowed. Oops. I skipped ahead. He sits down beside me and his grin falters a little bit. Oh. I have no white lilies to give you this time, my sweet princess, but I will offer anything else you would need for me to apologize for my advice earlier today. Oh. I can offer anything. My words, my body. I cut Rumpel off as I am not in the mood for his usual behavior. We're always like this. All you ever do is flirt. Any meaningful thing you try to say is lost in the flattery you constantly give to people. It is shallow. You're right. What? I stare at him. Rumpel is still smiling, but it's not the same confident grin he wore earlier. Somewhere deep in my memories, I remember someone telling me off just like this. Maybe many people enjoy flattery, princess, and a lot of people are receptive to flirting. But nothing can measure up to a genuine compliment. But I stand by what I said before, in that making a person happy is a good deed. Look, I'll show you. Rumpel shifts so that he's looking right at me, and I notice that his smile is gone. Nom-Nom, of all the women I've met, you are the most straightforward and honest. Many do not have the courage or the confidence to exhibit those qualities. That's why I admire you, and why I will always take your words to heart, because I know you will always speak the truth. I look into Rumpel's eyes, which still have a gentle shimmer despite darkness. For a few moments, his words float around in my head. No one has ever called my bluntness honesty before. No one has ever complimented me for it. Rumpel told me before that I deserve to be spoiled. Maybe it's because he sees the things I do in a more positive light. My, you're struck speechless by that, aren't you? You look cute with your cheeks so rosy, my sweet princess. I glare at him and Rumpel just laughs in response. I put a hand to my cheek, suddenly self-conscious. Rumpel smiles at me, but is not the usual playful smile. Right now, he almost looks serious. Did he mean what he just said? I assume... Actually, I don't know. Oh. Good ending is to tell him off. Alright, not gonna question you. Why did you have to be so dramatic when you gave me that compliment? I was dramatic? I cross my arms and Rumpel grins at me. I can't help it, princess. I am dramatic by nature. A compliment is, in some ways, a performance. So you did not mean what you said. No, I did. I swear I did. I was trying to show you how making a person happy could be a good deed. Complimenting a person on appearances is easier than complimenting them on their demeanor. You have to know a person for that. I meant what I said, princess, and I swear that wasn't just me trying to weave spectacular words together. Earlier, I bet you made a niece happy too. You were spying on our conversation? I would never! I just happened to be making my way down the stairs very slowly. You don't even know what I was apologizing for. No, but you thought you had to after you listened to her, didn't you? I listened far more than you do. Princess, you've shattered my heart so many times. There were permanent cracks. But do not worry. The cracks in my heart allow even more of you to make your way into it. Rumpel awkwardly laughs when I remain silent. Anyway, there are different kinds of listening, princess. Listening to sympathize is one kind. Trying to put yourself in someone's shoes, trying to understand them, that is one of those ways. Then there is the kind of listening that is shallow. One pretends to listen without ever letting the words into their heart. Words are fickle things. Mother always told me that people lie and that they would say whatever benefited them. It is foolish to trust words. What if a niece had been lying to me? Why would I put so much blind faith in people? Because more often than not, people are good, princess. I let out an exasperated sigh. Sometimes I cannot tell if I'm angry or confused by Rumpel. Ah, what a beautiful sound! It was as if the sweet wind itself was gently tickling my ear. I slide away from him and scowl. Your scowl is adorable too, and you have such delicate lips. Right. I am still convinced that his earlier compliment was just a lie. How can he say something genuine and then slide right back into this pitiful flattery? For a moment, silence falls, and I find to my surprise that it's not awkward, being alone with Rumpel. Will you accept my apology for earlier? I promise I'll never try to get you to flirt with anyone ever again. Besides, if you flirted with another man and then grew fond of him, I would be devastated. That would never happen. You didn't let me finish. I was going to say that would be devastating because that would mean that your heart belongs to someone else, and my heart belongs to no one. I will steal it like a thief in the night. That will also never happen. If not that, then I'll settle with making you smile at least once. Because I'm sure you would shine as brightly as the sun if you smiled. You are unreasonably persistent. Love is a persistent endeavor, princess. A man in love stops at nothing to win over the woman that he so adores. Then you must be in love with many women. Ugh. I stand up. I would appreciate you just complimenting me when you mean it. But princess, I mean every one of my compliments. I have no energy to chastise him right now, but at least I no longer have that anger inside from earlier. It's been a long day, and I'm going to bed. Would you like company? I didn't mean. Good night, Rumpel. Good night, Princess Nom-Nom.
Ooh. You looked a little sad after that one, like, shit, I did not mean to sound perverted. Oopsies. It's like, I literally just wanted to walk you back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, princess.
Oh, now I'm missing MP Barbicane from Code Realize. He always said, like, my princess. And I love him so much. Alright, sorry. Wrong game. I make my way back to the tavern feeling surprisingly light. Still, even if Rumpel's words might make me happier than I care to admit, he is not doing a very good job of helping move my curse. I might have to do this on my own after all. You don't know that yet. Chapter 5. The Doctor. Doctor. Forewarning, I'm probably gonna end stream in 20-ish minutes? Something like that. What a brilliant day! The sun is shining, the town is full of laughter, and I have my sweet princess here to accompany me. I cannot help but groan at Rumpel's optimism. Because we were both sent out to run errands. Because everyone thinks we make a wonderful couple. Ooh, spicy. No, because we're partners. Partners, a couple. It may as well be the same thing. He's not wrong, because it's a visual novel. Half of the time, Rumpel says some deep things, but then he says things like that. It is like he has two personalities. No, it is not the same thing at all. I take out the list and scour it for the things we need to buy. More than half of it is already crossed out. I glance at the bags Rumpel is carrying. He refuses to let me carry any of them, insisting that it would be impolite to force the load on me. That leaves me with list duty. This is a lot more laid back than what I had to do at the market. Okay, now we have the general medicine restock for a niece. My area of expertise! Never fear, my sweet princess. I will find everything we need. We already have a list. Rumpel just hums enthusiastically as we continue on our way, and I am not entirely sure if he heard me or not. We arrive at the little medicine shop in the central plaza. A man exits through the front door, coughing so loudly people turn their head to stare at him. I wait for the man to pass so that I can open the door to the store, but then I notice that Rumpel hasn't budged beside me at all. His eyes do a quick scan of the man before he slowly begins to walk toward him. Sir, you are sick. What's it to you? Even if I was sick, lad, there's nothing I could do if I don't have any money. Besides, it's not like this will kill me. It's just a cough. How long have you had your cough, sir? It seems like such a minor thing, but Rumpel suddenly looks so serious about it. He looks at the man with his eyes slightly narrowed, as if trying to see past him. It's been with me for more than 3 days. Coughs are pesky things, aren't they? They're usually the last thing to go, but at least they're not deadly most of the time. Even if you can't buy the medicine, sir, there are other at-home remedies that might help with your cough. Boy, I've already tried warm tea. My wife's giving me enough of that. Water is good for your throat too, sir. Any kind of steam works too. If the cough is riddled with mucus, it'll be easier to expel with steam. When you can't afford the medicine, sometimes the simple things will help. And coughs stay for a while, so don't fret if you can't get rid of yours immediately. Well, I appreciate the advice. Not exactly what a doctor would tell me, but it'll have to do. Actually. The man thanks Rumpel before walking off. I notice Rumpel looking down at the ground, rather forlorn expression on his face. Is what he said true? About what, princess? About doctors not giving advice about at-home remedies? Well,
Most of the doctors don't believe in such things. They always think that medicines work better than at-home or herbal remedies. The medicines do help, but sometimes they aren't necessary. Yet you just gave him advice. Not everyone can afford medicine. Being a doctor means helping people, not taking advantage of their sickness to steal their money. Money was never a problem at the palace. Whenever I was sick, the palace staff made sure I had the best and most effective medicines. Do you remember what you were like as a doctor? I wanted to help everyone that showed up at my doorstep. Sometimes I couldn't, and it frustrated me. I prescribed medicines when necessary, gave advice other times, and when things were dire, I performed small operations. He does seem a lot more serious when he is talking about health. Rumpel was silent for a few moments before his eyes light up once again. Anyway, shall we go stock up on our medicine? I thought you said medicine wasn't always helpful. Because it's not, but I also know that Anise uses mostly herbs, and that she tries to handle things without too much medication. She's quite capable. We enter the shop, and in no time at all, Rumpel spots the items on our list. We use up the rest of our money to buy the medicines and remedies that we need, and then we begin to head back to the tavern. On the way there, Rumpel strikes up a conversation again. So, Princess, have you given any thought to what I said before? About what? You've already forgotten? About making people happy. What? You know, you can make me happy right here and now by giving me a kiss on the cheek. I stared blankly at him before walking away. No, thank you. And alas, my hopes are dashed again. When we are at the outskirts of town, I pause and turn around. It is as if I can feel eyes on my back, but I do not see anyone openly staring at me. Is someone watching me? Suddenly, I feel warmth in my hand. The fingers interlace through mine. Rumpel pulls me a little closer, his expression oddly gentle. Don't worry, my sweet princess. You're safe with me. Ugh. Suddenly his face is a lot closer to mine, and I can see his features more closely. It is like the night in the forest, except his face is not marred by the same shadows. There is caution in his eyes, but it is not directed at me. Did you see someone following you? No, I just thought I felt someone looking at me. Better just stay together then. We begin walking again. Two of us begin to head back to the market. Rumpel has all the bags in one hand now. He hums a little bit as we walk. It is remarkably peaceful, so much so that I do not even mind him holding my hand. It suddenly feels a lot safer. I am so lost in reverie that I do not even notice when we turn and go in the opposite direction. This is not the way back to the market. On the contrary, it's just a more scenic path. Don't you like the forest, princess? The shafts of light coming in through the canopies, the soft blades of grass that tickle your ankles. It is such a romantic place. No matter what he says, this does not lead back to the market. It is not a scenic path or a path at all. I don't know, guide, tell me. Stop walking. Stop it! I instantly root myself in place, and even though Rumpel is far taller than me and far stronger, he stops after noticing that I am no longer walking. Oh, princess, did you want to stop and admire the scenery? Why are you taking me through here? I do not care about scenery, and I do not care about walking anywhere with you. Princess, your honesty really is a treasure. One day I will make it so you enjoy going places with me, not just holding my hand. I quickly slide my hand out of his, my face feeling somewhat hot. Ah, there's the sweet rosiness to your cheeks. He never answered my question. It's a detour. We were only going to be in here for a few minutes. If you thought you saw someone's eyes on you, it's better to divert their attention away from the market. And before you say it's dangerous, yes, it is. But we're still not far enough away from town to worry about safety. And I believe I can protect you. Won't you compliment my cleverness, sweet princess?
He takes a step forward, bridging the short distance between us, and then suddenly his fingers are around my wrist again. But he does not lace his fingers through mine. Instead, he takes my hand in his and then pulls it up to his face. Before I realize that my hand is on his cheek, his hand cupping my own.
I don't like. I. I. I don't like this type of character. I really don't. But why the fuck did they have to draw him so handsome and so gentle in this art? Why? It is too damn good. It looks too damn good. And his purple eyes are fucking gorgeous. I hate this. I hate this. I hate that I love this. What the fuck? I didn't think I was gonna warm up to him. What the actual fuck? Princess, you can trust me. As always, I mean, I can sense that sometimes you trust me. Sometimes you don't. But you don't need to be so cautious around me. I shower you with compliments because I believe you deserve them. I tell you that I enjoy being around you because I do. Why do I feel like he's actually making eye contact with me? Oh my god. I should be focusing on his words, but all I can look at are his eyes. Same, girl! Same! What do I need to do for you to fully trust me? Father told me that people lie, so how can I trust that everything he says is the truth? Perhaps if I stop throwing compliments at you, it would not be you without all of the compliments. What am I saying? I always complain about his compliments, but the thought of Rumpel without compliments is strange. So you do enjoy my compliments, sweet princess? No, What? Words have deserted you? I understand. Being so close to me would have that effect on any woman. Something bright and angry flares up inside of me. Something that I don't understand. I pull my hand away from him, a scowl on my face. Was it my big mouth again, princess? Come on, let us go back to the market. Start walking ahead, and Rumpel rushes to catch up with me. I clench my fingers and let out a silent sigh. Rumpel was being nice to me again, but I always reject his kindness. Because it cannot be real. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Days go by. I consider Rumpel's advice, but I refuse to flirt with anyone again. I have no idea how to make anyone happy. Rumpel told me that I cannot make anyone happy without knowing anything about them, and listening to them like I did with a niece. But what reason do I have to listen to people? This is so frustrating. Days later, Rumpel and I sit at the table waiting for our work orders. Excuse me. Rumpel is on the verge of conversation when we suddenly hear Parfait speaking in the doorway. Rumpel picks up on the words before I do and rushes over to the front door. He looked almost nervous. Who is at the front door? I excuse myself briefly, telling Anise that I will be back. I make way over to the front door, and there I see 3 people in conversation. There is Rumpel and Parfait, and a very pale man. The pale man looks like death itself, like he might just keel over. I can help him. Rumpel. He needs help. He can stay in my room instead. I can even restock the medicines on my own if need be. So please, let me help him. There is a desperation in Rumpel's eyes that I have never seen before. He looks at Parfait pleadingly, all the while holding the man by the shoulder to steady him. What is happening? Oh,
Princess, this man heard about Rumpel through one of the men at the tavern. He's sick and doesn't have a lot of money to pay for treatment. He came here seeking Rumpel. He must have been able to find this place because he was cursed. Does he even have the money to pay? Rumpel turns to me with a frown on his face. I've never seen him look at me so sternly. Princess, you remember what I told you? I was just gonna mention this. I'm like, girl, you legit had this conversation not that long ago. Remember what I told you before? Shit. He was insistent that a doctor's number one priority was to help their patient, regardless of their monetary situation. Take him to your room then, Rumpel. I will have Anise assist you, if she's willing. No, Anise does not need to worry herself. I think she'd want to help you. The two cut their discussion short when the man starts coughing, a terrible hacking cough that paralyzes him. Rumpel steadies him, and then he begins to slowly move him toward his room. Don't worry, Princess. He'll be fine. What? I can see the worry on your face. Rumpel will be fine. Why would I worry about Rumpel? Because it's not like you to worry about someone you don't know at all. He looked so alarmed. I've never seen Rumpel look like that before. It is not like him. Rumpel knows what he's doing. I'll have someone else assist you with serving today, so no worries. Her fate comes through on her promise. When I go back to the bar, both Anise and Rumpel are gone. Karma, or Miss Karma, is there instead, looking disgruntled. Waltz would be better at this. Why do I have to help? Because Waltz was busy doing his puppet shows, and Rumpel is helping a sick man. Oh, well, I guess there's nothing to do about this then, other than enjoy it. He flips his hair and smiles brilliantly. I will attract all of the customers today. Perhaps we should have a competition, Princess. Compete with yourself. I am really not in the mood for karma right now. Then I shall definitely compete with myself, because challenging yourself is important. It's funny how I found karma so much more tolerable than I think because it's like the theatrics behind Rumpel, while Karma's just like to the point with like, I have class. Karma picks up waiting tables fairly easily. I notice that he speaks very fondly to the girls, but they are not as receptive as they are with Rumpel. Many times they ask Karma where Rumpel is, and he seems agitated when he tells them that Rumpel is busy. They seem just as irritated. Once my break starts, I meet Karma at the bar. He looks depressed. I guess if you and Rumpel competed to woo girls, he would win. Ugh. Darling, if I were to shed my disguise right here and now, I would be the clear victor. Since without this disguise, women would flock to me. It is rather uncomfortable to have every woman in Angel fall in love with you. You look like you're judging me, Princess. Because I am. If only you understood my plight. Karma and Rumpel may speak similarly, but they are still so different. Karma is the type to complain. Rumpel never complains. He is overworking himself for someone else, just like he went out of his way to apologize to me many times. My heart sinks a little bit as I think of him and Anise helping out the sick man. Rumpel did not even want Anise to going up there, so he probably wouldn't want me up there either. I could try to go visit him, or I could go back to my room. Oops. Wrong button. Up. Alright, let's go to Rumpel's room. Save first. It's been a while and I'm slightly go to Rumpel's room, right? Is that the one? Yes. I think I'll go check on him. Check on Rumpel? I hadn't realized I was speaking aloud. I look at Karma, who furrows his eyebrows at me slightly. I honestly don't know how you can stand him as a partner. Why do you dislike Rumpel so much? A lot of things, Princess, but that fight is between us and doesn't involve you. Then do not involve me. You have no need to comment on us being partners.
Damn! Alright. Farmer looks at me wide-eyed and a little shocked. Then a sort of knowing comes into his eyes and he smiles. Just a little bit.
Yes, I think you should go visit him, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to get him off of your mind, would you?
Ugh. He laughs a little before picking up his tray and rushing off to continue his shift. I slowly make my way upstairs, my feet feeling heavy. For some reason, I feel like Karma was right. I make my way over to what I think is Rumpel's door. The door is slightly ajar and I hear hushed voices on the other side. This isn't a bedroom, but okay. Those voices definitely belong to Anise and Rumpel. I slowly push the door open and quietly step inside. Oh, there we go. Rumpel and Anise are standing over the man, who is covered in blankets and coughing. A series of bottles sit on the table close by. None of the herbal remedies are working. We need a medicine for this. Sorry, but I don't have any more money to offer, Rumpel. Anise, please don't sound so sad. You've already tried helping as much as you possibly can. It's my fault for promising to buy the medicine that we need. I glance at the table where Alyssa's sitting. Beautiful cursive handwriting details everything that the patient needs. Everything is circled except for some medicine at the very bottom that has a star next to it. Is that Rumpel's handwriting? Suddenly the two of them turn. They both look shocked to see me. Princess, what are you doing here? I came by to see how you were doing. Princess, I'm fine, but... He glances down at the man on the bed, and he sighs out a little bit. We've given him what we can, but the one medicine that we need is something we can't afford. Even with the money I'm getting from Even with the money I'm getting from Lady Parfait, it isn't enough. I walk into the room and glance at the list. I look over the total for the medicine, then at the coins on the table that I hadn't noticed before. Did Rumpel use all of his money for this stranger? What will happen if you do not get this medicine? Without this, the infection will spread and he could... He goes silent as the man starts coughing again. I can read the answer in his eyes, even if he won't say it. The man could be in terrible danger. He could even die. Rumpel looks defeated. He does not look like himself at all. I glance at the coins again, then at the list. Without a second thought, I grab both the list and the coins. Princess, what are you... I'll be back. I leave the room, even with Anise and Rumpel protesting behind me. I make my way to my room, where I pick up the bag of coins that the king gave me when I went to the palace on the day I was cursed. Then I head for the door. I immediately head for the medicine store that we always frequent. I count out the coins that I need to buy the medicine. This will take all of my money, but it wasn't as if I was going to use it for something else. I rush back to the market with the medicine in a little bag, hoping that this is the one that Rumpel needs. Okay, I'm gonna save here. This seems like a good place to stop. Pause. So I assume more is gonna happen here. So I'm gonna save here. And I'm gonna call that a night. Oh my gosh, my throat is sore from all the reading. But yeah, okay. I'm glad I'm starting to like him a little more. It's nice. Not gonna lie. It's nice when visual novels can make me like guys I wouldn't normally like. But anyway, with that said, I'm gonna end it for the night.